I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.
Stand out from the noise. Podcasting is one of the great wonders to start creating content for your brand. At Sticky Pod Studios, you have a professional studio with audio and video podcasting capabilities to hit every angle of your market. We have in-house editors who are ready to create micro pieces of content from your podcast to post on social media as well. You come in, sit down, and we handle the tech. It's that simple. Visit our website or DM us on Instagram at Sticky Pod Studios. See you soon.
That was weird.
It happens all the time.
And the other person could have, let's say, a red mark or a scratch. Hey, this is David Kohlmeyer. Thanks so much for joining us at The Problem Solver Tuesday at 6 p.m. every single week. Thank you for joining us today. My great co-host here, two lovely people. I got Danny Miner to my right. Danny, thanks so much for joining.
Let's go, Dave. I'm excited about today.
Awesome. And then we have Beja Rivera.
Hey, Dave. Let's talk about it.
And today we have an awesome guest. His name is Nephi Khaliki. Thanks so much, Nephi, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Nephi is a Master Firearms Instructor who also does full contact gunfight coach. You never know when you need a coach for a gunfight, you know? Sounds crazy in general. But today's actually a serious topic in general. Today we're going to be talking about crime on the rise in regards to what's taking place in Las Vegas and all over the United States in general, possibly the world in general. Every place is a little bit different. But I wanted to talk about, have the conversation of the problem of gun violence and also crime on the rise in Las Vegas. Just to start off real quickly, Nephi, tell us a drop about yourself in general and then tell us what your thoughts are going on in Vegas.
I'm an ex-bounty hunter. Did 6 years, 32 states, over 700 captures. I started Las Vegas Gunfights as a full contact simunition facility that mixed MMA with non-lethal simunition into kind of a USC type of combat training sport. And then I started doing CCWs in 2018. We set a world record for the largest CCW class in U.S. history, and we've been cranking them out. Really kind of found a calling in that where I didn't realize before I didn't really want to, but that I had something to offer. And we get a tremendous amount of feedback from the public in our students that, you know, what are they concerned about? I always ask them, why are you here? Tell me why you're here, because I want to know. I'm going to give you a permit to carry. I want to know why you're here, in your own words. And across the board, they all cite that crime is up. A lot of them that have been here for a while are saying that it's crazy. Like everywhere you go, there's conflict and people are at each other, and you hear it different at night. It just feels different. Like when the refrigerator stops working in your house, you just suddenly notice something subtle is different. They're very concerned about their personal safety, and I'm fortunate to be in a position really to help them understand how to prepare for that. But crime is changed considerably in Las Vegas in the last couple of years, like significantly.
I definitely feel, even being a retired police officer, when I go out in general, I just think I'm more aware of my surroundings, and I'm a little bit more nervous these days. I just think some weird stuff's going to happen just because we watch the news. Also these days, with social media, we get these notifications, right? There was a shooting here, something happened here, or you have the new app, which is Next Door, right? And someone's like, did you hear the woman screaming? Did you hear the gunshot? I heard the dog, right? So everyone's like just more aware because of social media. Would you agree, Danny?
I agree, but I also believe crime's gone up. I mean, shootings on Fremont Street are frequent now. I mean, it's ridiculous. I had my family in from Pennsylvania, and honestly, I was afraid to take them down on Fremont Street. I really was. It's that bad. And I'm going to keep this brief, but I saw no police officers. I'm down on Fremont Street, and there's no police officers. I'm on Las Vegas Boulevard. There's no police officers. This is your biggest moneymaker, Nevada, Las Vegas, I should say, and you have no police officers on the Strip. I don't get it.
So
I don't know why the sheriff doesn't.
You didn't see any security.
There should be a cop in front of every hotel. I don't know why there isn't. It makes no sense to me. None.
Well, you can just put a gun in your own pocket and take care of it yourself.
I agree with Karen. I'm 100% pro gun.
And that's what you're aiming to do here?
I think that I support the ongoing development and training of individuals, because personal protection is an individual's responsibility, and we all have the ability to put up some kind of an effective defense, whether we're using our minds, our bodies, or tools. We all have to be able to take responsibility for that. So I don't see a cop, okay, I'm either going to get out of there or I'm going to, make sure that I'm protecting myself. I'm in a position to help people that need it, and so I want to help them mostly by helping them understand human interactions and mindset, and how not to appear to be prey, how to lean into things as opposed to recoiling from them, so it draws negative attention. Body language is huge communication for criminals, because they're not very smart, but they can watch you and they can see if you're behaving scared or weak. And self-confidence, really, and people think I'm teaching everybody about guns. What I really want to teach them first is about self-confidence, so that they can avoid these problems.
And I love that.
I like that too.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well,
Go ahead.
I do that with my children right now. Actually, I think maybe because of a conversation of the day, when I was at a movie theater, I said to them, where are the exit signs? What does it mean to be an exit sign? You have to teach them when they're young, because it's like muscle memory. As we are police officers, are trained muscle memory to keep talking about it. So I said, where are the exit signs? I said, from now on, we're going to play a game. Wherever we go, if it's a new place, I want you to look for exit signs. So God forbid something happens, you run out that door, you call the police, and then where do we meet? We need a game plan. We need to be prepared, right? So preparation is going to be key for any family member, for any of us in general. How do we stop the crime being on the rise, or the shooting that take place in Fremont? What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? How do we solve this problem? Because that's the goal of the Problem Solver Show.
Yeah, well, we have.
Can we solve it?
We can solve it on an individual level. Other people that don't accept responsibility for their own personal safety, we can't, unfortunately, help them. But those that take responsibility and do some training and build on their levels, they definitely can make a difference. They will definitely not be a victim.
I just want to add in that other than just teaching them on how to, use the gun properly, is, again, body language, how to respond, how to react, what to do in certain situations. So I think it's really great that you're teaching that.
Thank you.
In regards, I know today, real quickly, Danny mentioned about mental health. What are your thoughts? It seems like all these shootings that are taking place, whether it's in Texas and Florida and up in Buffalo, New York, that these people are suffering from mental illness and crises.
Well, sure. I mean, that's a part of our society and things that we have to deal with. People with mental issues, they are a different category. But it's like when I was on a bus when I was in high school, and I was talking to this cute girl next to me, and this guy came up and he spit on me. And I was just going to get up and engage him. And someone said, well, no. He's not really there. I forget what they said his diagnosis was. And I'm like, wait, what? He looks normal. Like, but he just spit on me. And I was like, you get a pass, right? But nobody else gets that same pass. So we do have to look at him differently. But that doesn't change our individual responsibility to prepare ourselves to protect ourselves and our families and those around us, whether the person's crazy or the person's greedy or on drugs. The responsibility doesn't change for us as individuals.
Okay, very good point. When we come back in a quick, brief minute, I want to talk about the right to bear arms and why a lot of politicians and people want to take away firearms, whether that's right or wrong. That's a whole different topic. So we'll be right back in a quick minute.
I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.
Stand out from the noise. Podcasting is one of the great wonders to start creating content for your brand. At Sticky Pod Studios, you have a professional studio with audio and video podcasting capabilities to hit every angle of your market. We have in-house editors who are ready to create micro pieces of content from your podcast to post on social media as well. You come in, sit down, and we handle the tech. It's that simple. Visit our website or DM us on Instagram at Sticky Pod Studios. See you soon.
That was weird.
It happens all the time.
Hey, we're back here at the Problem Solver talking about crime on the rise and the right to bear arms. Today, again, we have Nephi Khaliki, who's the Master Firearms Instructor, my lovely co-host today, talking about these important topics. What are your thoughts in regards to right to bear arms? I know, like Australia, other countries, they don't even have firearms. They've given up their firearms. What's your take on the right to bear arms in the United States of America?
Well, I think that you can't first be a free person without that. If you have guns and our government has guns, then there's equality. Mm-hmm. But if one doesn't, then the other one is just going to swallow the other one up. And I think our founding fathers were smart because they'd been through that. It wasn't like they just say, this is a good idea, let's do it. From experience,
that's why it was a law.
They had done that, and they wanted to give us the ability for generations to correct things and get re-centered on the basis of freedom. But there's really 5 reasons that you need guns, and it's, whether it's national security, right? Because we don't get invaded because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass. And in case our government becomes tyrannical and needs to be corrected, or our fellow man, they decide that they want your stuff more than you do, and maybe we need to hunt. And then the 5th and final reason is because you cannot call yourself free without them.
It's very interesting points. I mean, I
totally agree.
I mean, I can't.
Yep.
Some people could say, "Oh, he's crazy," But the truth is, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and if you look at things with very, clear thoughts, I mean, there's nothing that you're saying that seems so crazy. So, question in regards to Australia, like, what's happening right now in Australia? Did they give all their guns up?
They did, and they're regretting it.
Why?
Yes. Because during COVID, their children were being snatched from their arms by force and violence, and held down and force vaccinated. And that would not happen in America. That's kidnapping somebody's kids and to jab them with some experimental drug. That wouldn't happen in America.
But having less shootings and less homicides in Australia?
Evil does not magically go away when you take the tool, right?
And if it goes away in some form,
it just comes out different
in another way.
Place. That's how
correct.
That's how dysfunctions happen, right? You're going to take a gun away from a guy, and it doesn't mean that he's going to be showing up at church the next day singing in the choir. Evil will find a way, and so
probably shoot the church up because they took his gun away.
Yeah, the thing that we have to do is just to make sure that we're prepared to deal with that if it comes near us.
Or to your door.
If it comes to your door, yeah. I don't care what everybody else is going to do about it. I know that I have several levels of me addressing problems, whether it's firearms or my fists or my brain. I'm going to use whatever level is appropriate to deal with that problem. But to say that I'm defenseless, like, what do you say to women? You know, when we could get rid of every gun in the world and it wouldn't make women safer around men because they just need their hands. So what are we going to give our ladies for a tool?
Protection.
They need something that can overpower that evil threat that's been perpetuated against them. And so I think the argument for gun control really stops dead in its tracks with our women.
And I am a single mother. My daughter just actually turned 11 today. Happy birthday, Ilani. I love you so much. I need her to know how to use a gun and know when and where to use it, like in what situations to use it, where to shoot, because we know what can be deadly, what can stop somebody from, either they're breaking into your house or whatever. And also just self-defense classes. Everything that you're doing to educate, I feel, is positive, and just continue to do that. And for the younger children too, how old do you have to be?
I'll get them started early, but I would never give a person, a lethal tool until they're ready for it. Yeah. So they should be starting at any age they're exposed to it, right? Whether it's with blue guns or training, but we want to train behaviors in early without the danger element, and then when they're ready for it, then we do it. So never too early to start teaching them about safety and awareness.
She says she agrees with you.
So, it's interesting because I try to uplift my kids that are young, 7, 5, and 3. Yes. But what I say to them, do you want to be a lion or do you want to be a sheep? And they'll joke around. And my little one, the boy, will say, I want to be Spider-Man. And
I want to be Spider-Man. My time management, I just want to get everywhere.
So I'm trying to basically teach them to stand up for themselves and to be confident. Yes. That's what a lion does. But a sheep follows, right? We see a sheep pack in general follow. And so then my middle one says, no, I want to be a sheep. And I said, well, the lion's going to eat you up if you're going to be the sheep. So we're playing a little bit about it, and they're laughing because the little one wants to be Spider-Man. But what I'm trying to say is we need to build confidence. And with building confidence, we should be able to prepare ourselves in regards to self-defense or even using a firearm to prepare yourself. And whether you like firearms or not, they're here. And one thing that's kind of interesting, I think, is when we say right to bear arms, I've heard this before that like in Ukraine right now, like they had to give firearms to people for the war. Maybe Russia would not invade if every Ukrainian had a firearm at their home, just like in America. So I think that Russia never invaded the United States or China because everyone's got a gun. How many millions of guns are out there in the United States, would you say?
300 million.
300 million guns in America.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
and even if we tried to take away.
Japan said they didn't invade the mainland because there was a rifle behind every blade of grass. And we enjoy that freedom here in this country. And I say the number one reason is national security. That's us. Because we would be down there on the beaches of Santa Monica with hundreds of thousands of rifles. Everyone in California with their pink hats and everything would be pointing rifles at these guys coming up the shores instantly. The military can't respond that fast.
And, it's the same thing with the police. The police can't respond as quick as people want it to be. And if you call the police right now, honestly, it's going to be what? What would you say, how many minutes? If we called the police right here today at the studio.
I would say 15.
The average is 12.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'd say.
I was about to say 7 to 9, but that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Depending where the officer is, right?
You're rolling the dice.
Yeah.
And how many stories do you hear about people that actually carry firearms when they're out and about, and the situations like saving people's lives, like they intervened and they knew what to do in that situation.
There's lots of good guys with gun stories.
Exactly.
I think the key no matter what is that even if you have a firearm, you're trained to be a good witness is key. But if you're able to stop a threat, that's fine. But you have to do it in a safe manner, just like out here, the 2 Metro officers and the guy that had a CCW got involved.
His heart was in the right place. His training wasn't.
Sometimes, you don't know there's another body that's watching. That's basically like an undercover bad guy watching what's going on as the other bad guys are going through the Walmart and stuff like that. So again, right to bear arms, whether you're for it or not. I mean, we're lucky that's our constitutional right in general, and that we are in America. We're blessed to have that right. We're going to be back in a quick minute, and when we do, we're going to talk about the CCW class that you're providing veterans. And let's give it a minute. We'll be right back.
Looking good and sounding good has never been more simple. At Sticky Pod Studios, we strive to make it as easy as possible to reach your audience. Our state-of-the-art podcasting facility enables you to come in, sit down, and speak to your audience. We handle the tech. It's that simple. Visit our website or DM us on Instagram at Sticky Pod Studios. We'll see you soon.
Injured? Call 602-HURT. Car accident? Call 602-HURT. Pacific West Injury Law, a firm that focuses on you. Our firm is dedicated to you and your recovery. No fee until we win. Millions recovered. Here when you need us.
Hey, it's David Kohlmeyer. Welcome back to the Problem Solver. Today we're talking about the violence of crime that's taking place and increase, talking about our right to bear arms in general in Las Vegas, United States of America. And we're here with Nephi Khaliki, who's, again, a Master Firearm Instructor. And you have, I understand, a free CCW class for veterans. Tell us a little bit of how you came about to do a free CCW class for them.
Yeah, I work with a lot of military guys in the capacity of what we do at Vegas CCW and our range program, and it's just constantly here, 15% discount at your local Chuck E. Cheese. I think it's almost like saying, pray for Vegas. Insult. Yeah, it's like, come on, man, like do something more.
Like half, something.
Something like, just if you mean it, if I'm hooking up a buddy, I'm going to hook up a buddy, right? And I just think, 9/11 is a sensitive time because it was a time when things changed for people like me. Mm-hmm. We were looked at differently at that time, and it was very hard for me because the military guys that I'd worked with and I know and love were now looking like, how do I reconcile that? So it was an important date for me, and I think it's a good thing about healing and continuing to remember, to be vigilant and to let them know that we got their backs too. So we wanted to do just free CCWs for them because they also live in our communities as well. A lot of them have houses here and families and stuff, and stuff is crazy out there. So we want to make sure that they know we got their backs.
That's great.
I think there's a lot of different things that we can do more for veterans in general, and I think it's nice that you're offering a free CCW class for veterans and their family members in general, just to protect themselves a little bit more in the community. They are trained already. They spent, whether it's a year, 2 or 4 years, or 8 or 10, 20, everyone's different. But I think that I think it's a good thing in regards to trying to stop violence or having more people prepared with the class, even if they have military experience, and to have firearms more concealed, not out in the public, and have people prepared. Of course, everyone should be a good witness, right? But if something major goes down, at least that you have a trained military member that has a CCW. God forbid they want to stop a threat. That's whether it's on Fremont Street or the Strip or in Henderson or North Las Vegas. I mean, crime does not discriminate, any city in America. So I think that we need to be more people prepared. So I do commend you, for your efforts of getting people, trained. In regards to the veterans, how many people are you? How many people?
300.
And you're doing this at a local library?
We're doing it at the West Las Vegas Library.
Okay.
We like the libraries for these events. It's kind of our community stuff as well.
I like it.
We want to continue to promote these kind of events. No one should be restricted from having the ability to defend themselves for financial reasons, right? That shouldn't be what keeps you from, he could have survived that violent attack if he had only been able to afford a CCW, because it's like $250 all in when you get done with the metro fees. We want to encourage people by eliminating the front end of the CCW and then encouraging them to do ongoing training with us as we go through and try to get in 40, 50, 60 hours a year at least in spending time in self-development, self-improvement, not just in areas of firearms, but in your personal confidence, leadership development, CPR, medical stuff, like be more well-rounded asset for the community, because we as an organization want to increase the value of CCWs. And in order to do that, we have to add hours of training to it. So we wanted to start with our veterans. So these are good guys.
How long is the training?
8 hours for the CCW, but we're constantly pushing them to come in and do the perfect group and do other training.
Extra training?
Yeah.
So extra training.
So the bottom line is you're doing a CCW class 9/11, 2022, which is actually on a Sunday during the day, which I'm actually looking forward to attending as well. The one thing that Nephi is doing for the Problem Solver show, and again, we're not going to always solve the problem in regards to violence, and they always say that crime is not just a police problem, but it's a community problem that everybody, whether it's a veteran, whether it's everybody that's here, a Nephi, everybody can come together to do something, John. We're reporting suspicious people to the police, right, before something major happens. Could be a really, really big deal, especially in Florida, in Texas, in Buffalo, New York, right? If we saw something suspicious and we could report it, we could really prevent a major tragedy. One thing Nephi is doing for the Problem Solver show that our listeners, he's giving us a limited amount of seats. There's a QR code that's going to be on your screen in general that you can scan. You can go to the problemsolver.vegas. You can click on a free CCW class, and he's allowing, even if you're not a veteran, limited amount of people that are part of the Problem Solver show can attend the CCW class to get some training. So Nephi, we want to thank you here at the Problem Solver to allowing some of our fellow listeners and viewers, especially on Channel 14 and Cox Cable, we really do appreciate you allowing us, some of us, to attend. And I know you plan on having other future events as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So with that being said, I really do appreciate you coming on the show today. I think that you shared a lot of valuable information in general. And the bottom line is, violence and guns it's a tricky subject matter, and it's not a perfect situation. We hope to help prevent crime from taking place and uplifting people so they can be confident to protect themselves and their family members. So I think that everybody here supports having training and being prepared. And again, by having a CCW, I think that is the next level. Whether people want to do it or not, it's up to them and it's their choice. And thank God that we're in America, that we have that choice to do that. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you, Danny and Beja. And then we will see everyone next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. And thanks so much for joining us today.
I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.